Taking a look at really indie projects is always very, very interesting to me, especially solo dev projects in a genre that I love, i.e. the Metroidvania. So for anybody that, puts together a video game, indie or not, first project or not, learning experience or not, I'm always really intrigued as to what they're going to come out like. And Vitro, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right, I'm assuming it's Latin, is one such project. It's a solo dev Metroidvania, pretty short by his own account, a learning experience. This is how video games are put together. Heavily inspired, again, through their own admission, by Super Metroid. And I like Super Metroid. I like Super Metroid a lot. So let's just give it a go and see what we think. Controls. Analog triggers aim at angles, bumpers change weapon, fire XMP, beam, jump, double jump, sprint, exit, map, items. What is that clicking down on the sticks? F8, save at any time. Okay. Shoot doors to open. Beam, XMP, refraction beam. Cannot be opened with weapons, mysterious. Shoot the gates to open the switch. Replenish shields. Expand total shields. Okay. So this is very much a tutorial of sorts. We've got bomb blocks type things. We've got drop pit blocks. I don't actually know what they are even called. There are many hidden passages and false walls. Explore everywhere. That's a very me thing to do anyway. New game. Enable data logs are optional plot-related items found throughout the game. Contain disturbing imagery and coarse language. Interesting that those are optional. We will enable. We will also enable the tutorial. That's a very Metroid-y sound effect. It looks like we're running at 4:3 aspect ratio. And here we go. Use the left analog stick or the D-pad to move. I will... Whee! That's very, yeah. Sprint. Yeah, okay. Okay, so R2 is down. L2 is up. Three-round burst shots. Movement is generally feeling decent. It's got more air control than Super Metroid has. But yeah, interesting that it's running at 4:3, I think, aspect ratio. We've got a map screen, including a timer. Got some data logs. Got an item screen. Everything's very monochrome, which I kind of like as a choice. I'm gonna hazard a guess that the map is static. I can't imagine there's going to be much scrolling, considering we've been told that it's not the world's longest game experience. Got an interesting mix of kind of visual style. We've got some reasonably straightforward parallax. We've got what, 4 layers of parallax. We've got the foreground that I'm stood on. We've got medium background, far background, and then the space and the sky beyond. I'm assuming this is a doorway. Yeah. Interesting 3D elements for the doors. Introducing us to new mechanics in a really obvious way. We've got some... I don't want to say we've got 2.5D stuff here, but I think... maybe there is... Huh, why are you flashing? Okay, I can't go through there. Can we just fire down? We can. Data log. Message from administration. 01-43-128-EE. 2. Entire research team. There have been some rather unfortunate sentiments being spread by the new arrivals to our facility. Some of these people have been talking about the supposed lack of morality or compassion shown by senior members of the research staff. There have been accusations that the scientific method is being warped here on Demajen, and that some of the conducted experiments are inhumane or unethical. I want to rebut that criticism now. There are no more goddamn ethics. There is no more bloody morality. The survival of the human race is the only concern any of you bleeding heart idiots should give a damn about. Our entire civilization was burnt to nearly nothing, and you think we should stick to the high ground? Stick to our principles? We're going to mutilate and massacre every alien son of a bitch in this galaxy for what they did to us. If we have to vivisect a few worthless specimens, then so be it. If we have to manipulate the fundamental forces of nature, then so be it. If we have to play God, then so be it. I'll not allow petty emotions to get in the way of the recovery of the human race. Demajen Facility Administration. That is actually nicely written. Keeping in mind that, you know, it's one of the things that I do for a living. Yeah, nice use of rule of 3. Very appropriately punctuated. Good progression of what it was actually saying. And pretty decent storytelling. One thing that I'll note, it is quite easy to get stuck crouching when you're using the analog stick. I'm assuming all of this stuff's going to come to life. There's some interesting use of lighting in here. Aha. Okay, so stuff goes transparent. Well, translucent, technically. Some blocks can be destroyed. Yes, I'd figured this out already. But thank you. Personal log file. Project Relict represents the best chance humanity has left. It's the summation of all of human consciousness, intelligence, and creativity compressed into a single entity. With its creation, we have the means to end this galaxy and everything in it. Every event that happened in this facility, every failed experiment, every destroyed lab, every death has led to this moment. We pushed ourselves until there was nothing left to give, and this is the result. Every department has contributed in some way, whether through biology, robotics, engineering, or physics. And none of it would be possible without the weaponization of the exotic matter particles. There is no life but ours. Some blocks will fall if stepped on. Me too. There's a reasonable sense of atmosphere being created here. One thing that I know, because I checked, is that this is made in Game Maker Studio. Now, I associate a very specific art style with Game Maker Studio games. I shouldn't do, but I do. That's a nice effect. Pulse beam, a simple beam capable of charging. Press 2 to activate. Okay, got a charge beam. Interesting that we have to swap over to it. Game saved. I don't know whether... I think there is a difference. I can't quite tell because I'm dumb. Ah! The facility has come to life. I'm glad we've got a good chunk of air control. The block gives us just a second or so. Okay. I like the music. Enemies have arrived. Ooh, that's yeah, I mean, it shouldn't take anybody any amount of time if you played Super Metroid to spot the obvious influences here. And I think actually he said in the press kit stuff that originally he was basically making a Metroid fan game, but obviously you can't release those without Nintendo going ha at you. Galactic Transmission 1. Welcome, humanity. Welcome to the galactic community. Our translations are rudimentary at this stage, but all of the races of the local system are eager to greet you and learn about your culture. Though our civilizations differ, we feel that diversity is our strength. Peace, prosperity, and justice are the virtues upon which our societies are based. We hope to forge strong alliances quickly. With the combined intellect and technology of an entire galaxy, there are no obstacles we cannot overcome. Interesting. So, what happens to go from that... Oh, that's nice. So we've got reflective water, but once we go in it, it goes again translucent. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice effect. I like that. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. I almost never find a need to do this in a Metroid game. It's always this. It's always looking up. We can't go through those, can we? No. That is scenery. Oh, I can sneak. Sneak 100. Why was the minimap pulsing then? Ah, I think there's a secret up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this thing. I could possibly destroy it, actually. Tell you what, let's try it. Oh, I think I've just made it angry. I have, but it's dead now. Alright. Oops. Right. Exotic matter singlets. A singlet, as in a vest. Capacity +1. We have got some XMP, which, if I remember correctly, is used on triangle/Y. I've just fired it. It looks like a missile. Galactic Transmission 2 to the governments of humanity. Though the galactic community sympathizes with your plight, there is simply not enough territory to accommodate your population. The worlds you specify as undeveloped are in fact major centres of biodiversity and cannot be repurposed for human living space. We regret that you will have to make do with the resources that you have. Oh, there's a... Okay, and you get XMP back. Oh. Oops. There we go. Get shield back from it. Just jump straight into that. There you go. I am noting that the double jump feels a little bit unresponsive. And it works, but it's got a very specific feel to it. You come down to... Oh, interesting. Is that just going to keep on spawning? It is. Okay. And it's not exactly a morph ball, is it? The crouch. It feels a bit weird. To the governments of humanity, this is a formal warning to your leaders. Your policies of forced relocation and aggressive expansion will no longer be tolerated. All members of the galactic community deserve peace and security, including those of your local neighbouring systems. Though your race is new to the galactic stage, it does not excuse the reckless behaviour that has already cost many innocent lives. Cease all hostilities and return to your home system. Relinquish all territories acquired with military action and prepare to have your fleet disarmed and destroyed. It is deeply regretful that your first foray into the galactic stage has resulted in so much bloodshed. Sounds very realistic, doesn't it? It's like, yes, this is exactly what humanity in its current state would do. Exotic matter particles. XMP. Capacity +3. Use the Y button to fire XMPs. XMPs can open red doors. Oh, oh, I see you. I like the tumbling from the sky. Oh, oh, balls. I have fallen. What was the map button? That was the map button. Oh, there's no way of getting back up there short of going all the way back round. And I want the story. Because I quite like what we've got going so far. I also like the fact that it's well written. Hold on. Also, we can now get up here. And the difficulty has been very on par with Metroid games, i.e. not very. More XMPs. Like that. Interesting. I was kind of expecting there to be something else over here. Unless, realistically, we were supposed to go all the way over to the left to come back all the way over to the right. And get that. But we've got enough jump height that we don't need to. Don't know. Maybe there's something else hidden in there. Oops. I think enemies are just respawning once you... We tried that already, didn't we? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think it's if you leave it too long. No? I don't know. No, I don't know why every now and again the double jump's not working. I think it's probably a me problem. Oops. Yeah, the crouch mechanic is it's too easy to crouch. Right, it was through here, wasn't it? This. Right, let's try not to fall down again this time. There we go. Parlay to human military forces, your demands for unconditional surrender are unacceptable. Your unprovoked attack on the core worlds resulted in the deaths of billions of civilians and enormous swathes of livable territory have been rendered uninhabitable for millennia. This galaxy will never bow down to an aggressor, no matter what weapons you wield. Peace, prosperity, and justice shall rule this universe, not humanity. Interesting. I love me a good sci-fi story where humanity has... I'm not going to say shown its true colours because, you know, you only have to look at the modern world to... to really do anything like that. Oh, I keep expecting the left trigger to lock you in place. It doesn't. I wonder if that's an option that could be added. Okay, so we definitely have to go up and over this one. I think the timings are random. Yeah. So the XMPs are definitely kind of our missiles. This place very much reminds me of the wrecked ship. Which I'm fine with, because it was probably the most atmospheric area in Super Metroid. But it's got the same kind of colour palettes. Save room? That just said checkpoint reached, didn't it? So this is where we will respawn. Oh, in fact, it says save. So they haven't implemented an actual kind of save system in the same kind of sense that, you know, you have to use it here, because you can save wherever you want. But it acts as a save room in the sense that this is where we will respawn if we die. And I'm going to keep on doing that. So it looks like there are 6 zones. We are in AQU. No, we were in AQU. Zones are color-coded. Map system is... And this is going to be a controversial statement. The map system is better than Super Metroid's. How can you say that, Demajen? I can say that because the areas are color-coded and it shows doors. Which Super Metroid, of course, didn't do. I don't think. Pretty certain. Okay, this is Turian. Nope. Okay. I'll take the hit on the shields. Can actually get across that room without that. I'm wondering whether we're going to lose the double jump. Because it feels like a lot of these rooms are potentially designed for us not to have it. Unless, and I'm being very sarcastic when I say this, unless I've been given the journalist version of the game. That, as far as I'm aware, that's not true. But it would be kind of funny if it was. Ooh. Huh. Ah. Safeguards of weaponized intelligence. An intelligence may not allow an alien's safety, or, through inaction, allow an alien to escape death. An intelligence must obey all orders given to it unless these orders involve sparing an alien's life. An intelligence must maximize the harm to as many aliens as possible, even if this results in termination of the intelligence. An intelligence must ensure the supremacy of the human race over all aliens. It's, yeah. I see. Aha! Micro beam. Increased number of shots and rate of fire. A tea room. Listen, hun, I know you're worried about using the teleportation system, but trust me, it's very safe. I've been using it every day for the past 3 years, and I've never had a single issue with it apart from my 2 legs. 2 legs? 2 heads. So don't listen to those jackasses in the armamentarium lab. They're just trying to scare you. There's absolutely no danger of being sent to the wrong place, becoming embedded in the walls, or being disassembled into your component atoms. It's inspected and tested daily, so even if something were to go wrong, they shut it down immediately. As long as the maintenance crew is doing the job, there's nothing to worry about. That being said, I probably wouldn't use it if there's a power failure. Love, D. Oh, I thought I'd actually exploded. Okay, so we have a... Interesting. Nice little wibbly effects on that. Yeah, there's some definite kind of 2.5D elements going on here. I have fallen into the spikes, 'cause I am bad at video games. Oh! Okay, so the green things are... XMP regenerator. If XMPs fall to 0, remain still and hold triangle to regenerate 33% of missing XMP. So you can't actually get stuck for lack of... Right. Question. There are no more enemies in the room, so I'm assuming the glowing bits... I'm assuming the glow is so that we can... How am I getting to you? Hold on. Exotic matter singlets. So there's the obvious thing and the not so obvious thing. I like that as a general kind of design. I'm wondering... Hold on. No? I thought we might shoot our way through there and make our way left. Oh, I don't know how we're getting that. It's interesting because it's marked on the... I'm going to keep on pressing that because that's my normal button for map. So there's a dot there. Does the dot show that there's an item that we haven't picked up? I don't know what that is. But it's blocking our progress. Yes, it strikes me that an awful lot of these game textures are 3D modeled and then flattened. You know, they're obviously kind of 2D textures for the most part. I think the doors are... Yeah, the doors have definitely got some animation. But again, as do these enemies. You know, they look 3D, so I assume... How am I getting past you? No. I have to come back to that. Infinite spawners. Yeah, it's very, very easy to crouch and checkpoint reached. Interesting. Uh-oh. Map data. Oh, shield expansion. Plus 50 HP. It's a nice little... Yeah, it's really easy to get into the... boss fight, yeah. Into the crouch states. Right, this is very much going to be a... I assume this is doing damage, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's going red. But bosses in Super Metroid have often been about tanking damage, so... You know, it's essentially, can you outlast them? Yeah. The dies cast defeated the Tesla drone. Nice. Let me out. More story. Breeding a Better Weapon by Dr. Ulysses Travis. There are two schools of thought on how to engineer biological weapons. The first, to which I subscribe, is that of aggressive selection. Create an environment similar to which you want contaminated, place various rapidly mutating species within, and collect the results after several months. It is a Darwinian battleground, accelerated in time and coaxed to follow our aims. However, Mother Nature, for all her efficiency, does not often conform to our rules. She has no end game. What is best suited to survive is not always the best candidate to destroy. The second school of thought is that of human-engineered solutions. Scientists pick and choose traits from pre-existing species and splice those into an ideal specimen. A few cycles of cloning and a tailor-made genetic army is born. However, sometimes the engineered specimens react in unpredictable ways and require immediate quarantining and destruction. It is impossible to guess how certain traits will behave until they are expressed in a living creature. But the beauty of science is that there are no wrong answers. There are no mistakes, just more data points. I'm really liking the story as it is expanding in this game. Ooh. The green area has been reached. They look very similar to enemies from Super Metroid. Yes, I think my biggest point of kind of general feedback so far is that it is far too easy to get into the crouch state. Yeah, these things look just like the bugs from Super Metroid. I've swapped over to the D-pad now. See what this is like. XMP Replicator increases XMP pickup by 1. So when you get an XMP, you get 2 instead. So when you pick up 1, you get 2, I think. Yes, you do. I was a little bit unsure. Checkpoint reached. Yeah, I do find it kind of odd that we that we can save anywhere and yet. But hey, in terms of treating this as somebody kind of learning how to do stuff, you know, save systems aren't the easiest thing. One thing I actually found was playing around with Game Maker Studio 2 during the first lockdown. There's clearly something up there. Ah, more story. Intercepted conversation, encrypted extranet source, host 1. Tell me, what crimes did any of these worlds commit before we burned them to ashes? What gives us the right to destroy them? Host 2. We deserve to live in safety and security. We deserve to exist. That gives us the right. We are preserving our existence in this universe for now and for future generations. So, your answer is preemptive genocide, then? Because we have the scars and means to do it, we burn the galaxy to cinders. Our right to exist is more important than that of the alien. I can see in you the same naive thinking that nearly led us to extinction. Coexistence with the alien is impossible. We tried. Okay, so these are essentially biological turrets. Interesting. A kind of airlock. Not so much a puzzle, but... Huh. So we've got to maneuver. Maneuver our way to the gate. That's nice. I like that. I also like more shield power. Oh, those bounce you. Oops. I could see that happening and I did nothing about it. Re-photosynthesis. I've heard the same question repeated over and over again from some of the other departments. How can plants grow in an underground facility with no obvious source of light? Where are they getting their energy? As with all the artificial organisms in our facility, these plants are genetic constructs designed for a specific purpose. In this case, they help newly established colonies grow food and rapidly invade local ecosystems. Because they have to grow in any number of environments, they cannot depend on direct solar energy, as the extinct Earth plants once did. Instead, we must be creative. The ambient ionizing radiation from the deeper bedrock of Tormagon, harmless to humans and nearly undetectable, provides enough energy to replace light as a food source, with a few clever modifications to their genomes, of course. On any similar terrestrial planet, the plants will grow just as quickly. After all, visible light is just another form of radiation, and these plants have simply been engineered to absorb a different wavelength. As to why they are green, because I said so. Dr. Ralph Yui, botanist. Cool. Little bits, teeny tiny snippets of world building. That's yellow, Demo. You can't open yellow doors. I don't think I can get up there. I cannot. I need... No. I need some kind of high jump. Okay. Oops. Colonising a planet in 3 easy steps. A guide for civvies. Phase 1. Shock and awe. To an alien, what could be more shocking than seeing the sky filled with unmanned war machines, screaming through the atmosphere, delivering payloads of high explosives? This sight is usually enough to send the creatures scurrying for cover and primes the native population for a manned invasion. Phase 2. Subdue and evict. Once we put feet on the ground, that's usually all the force we need to begin rounding up the sentients. Those too stupid to understand what's happening are usually too stupid to be worth evicting. Those with the intelligence to grasp the situation are almost always docile by the time we start herding them up. Token garrisons are installed planet-sized to protect incoming colonists. Phase 3. Scrape and dislodge. Occasionally, a group of sentients will resist. Their technology is most often pre-industrial, although occasionally they have chemical propellant weapons. Guerrilla tactics come out in full force, which unfortunately can do serious damage to newly established colonies. However, in these cases, garrisons are authorized to use species-specific biological weapons. Seeing their comrades die by the thousands to invisible organisms is usually enough to halt the insurgency. Wow! I mean, yes, humanity is often not very nice, but really not very nice in this. Lots of justification of war crimes, essentially. Oh, I was going to say there's something burrowing over there. Ow. This is just linking us back up. Damn it. That is not... There's a thing down there. Yes, so far the hidden things haven't been, like, incredibly hidden. But actually, I'm fine with that. Oh. What's this? Pulse beam augment. Decreases charge time and adds spreading beams. Nice. Nice indeed. Okay, that should make hitting things with my atrocious aim much easier. No. I guess we're going back this way up. Hold on. Anything hidden up here? No? I assume these are spiky, yes? Yes. I thought they were going to be, but I wanted to check just in case. I've lost quite a lot of health. I'm going to lose a lot more based on my lack of spatial awareness. Boink, boink, squish. I like the effect that we get around us once we do that. Checkpoint reached. That's giving us a lot of... Is that the... That's the corpses of dead things that have just dropped out of it. Right, how are we getting to this? Not like that. How to colonise a planet in 3 easy steps. Appendix A. Phase 0. Scour and salt. There are times when colonisation is simply impossible for whatever reason. Strategic value, unruly natives, etc. In these cases, the garrison commander orders a planet-wide evacuation and requests a special suite of material from the fleet. Once all humans are off-world, constant buster orbital artillery is directed at the surface. On oxygen-rich worlds, atmosphere-igniting shells were also used. Typically, this bombardment generates a global extinction event. To see the results of Phase 0, take a tour of the alien core worlds. Wow. Humanity at its absolute finest. Oh, hold on. Oh, that looks like a block that we're coming down to. There's quite a number of things that are like, I don't know how to get to that. And that's fine. That's not a complaint. You know, being able to see something but not get it yet is kind of what Metroidvania games do. What the hell is that? There's a safe spot here. This is a boss, I think. Oh, we are running low on health. Okay, I don't actually know whether I needed to fight that. We may not have done. Ooh. New weapon. Refraction beam. A beam. Capable of redirection after firing. Okay, so it pings off things. Does it home in? I think it might do. Yeah, it does. It homes in on the nearest enemy. Important message from administration. There is now a system-wide moratorium on certain project names. If your current project is titled any of the following or some variation thereof, you are asked to please change it to a name not currently in use. The names in question are Nemesis, Cerberus, Hades, Hydra, Aegis. There are currently 427 projects using these titles by themselves as part of a larger name. While we agree that these specific words evoke a certain gravitas, there are plenty of other mythologies and cultures to take inspiration from. So, no more Greek stuff. That's actually quite meta, isn't it? quite like that. Save the game. Yes, this will make the game much easier for somebody like me who is generally not very good. Is that attracting stuff? It is! It's doing the charge beam attraction thing. I love that as a mechanic. That's really cool. It's a lovely little touch. Exotic matter singlets. Yeah, so the minimap glows when there is a secret. Oh, and the yellow gets us through yellow doors, because of course it does, because that's how colours work. Well done, Demajen. You have understood a basic Metroidvania mechanic. Iskander Massacre, Trial Excerpt number 1. Corporal Redacted versus United Colonial Militia. You are charged with treason, conspiracy to commit treason, fratricide, aiding and abetting non-human agents, and dereliction of duty. How do you plead, Corporal? Guilty. Let the record show that the plea is guilty. Now I will present the case for... You might as well tell the firing squad to start loading the guns, sir. We both know the outcome of this farce. We live in a society of laws, Corporal. You deserve a fair trial. No. We live in a society of perpetual, unending war. We're exterminating the galaxy one planet at a time until nothing is left but a wasteland of our making. I refuse to stand idly by anymore. It's a greater burden to live and do nothing than it is to act. In the grim darkness... etc., etc. Oh, again, a nice environment. I wonder if we'll be able to blow this up with a power bomb. Yeah, very, very easy to get stuck in. When shields fall below 50%, all damage is reduced by 50%. I saw you there. Right, I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say that we're going to get a wall jump. But with the fact that there's no way of getting up to at least 2 of the areas that we've seen now. I like the twing, twing, twing sound effect. Aha! Teleporter room. Let's see. It's just the fact that we explode that entertains me. Right, I'm assuming... Yeah. Basically, and it's instantaneous transport because it's not exactly a high fidelity gaming experience. You know, we don't need long load times when we're dealing with this. Oh no! It's the... Oh, hold on. Oh, I can get behind this one. We've made it to a new area. Which we're clearly going to blow up stuff for. Huh, those are in the foreground. Fognarium emergency broadcast. All termination protocols have failed. All contingency measures have failed. The specimen is advancing beyond containment areas and spores have been detected in air circulation, injecting quick-setting metapolymers into corridors to physically obstruct progression. So that's the white stuff. Flooding interior regions with superheated plasma. Those still trapped within the laboratories are requested to remain to prevent further contamination. We apologise for the inconvenience. Oh, we've got some sinky platforms. Oh no. This is the bit where everybody realizes that I'm actually really bad at platforming. Actually, no, it's... There's plenty of evidence for that. Okay, these things blow up into little bits. Particle accelerator. Reduces time between X and P shots by 25%. Yeah, again, very Metroid music. This is very Metroid Prime-esque, isn't it? You wouldn't think I have a background in music with a singing voice like this, would you? I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I can't remember which ones. My background in music is very much in the background, as in 25 plus years in the background. I can't get up here. Can, however, get the exotic Mattis singlet hiding in the corner. Yeah, we are we're in need of a wall jump and high jump. Hold on. Just testing the walls for any hidden things. No. Okay. Back we go then, I guess. Yes, I'm wondering whether those things down there are just for kind of the sake of environment or what. Yes, I suspect I'm going to be using this gun for a while. Oh, it's possible that that teleporter is there because we can see the different coloured doors on the map. And in fact, there's a yellow door right next to the teleporter over here. Weird. Help! I'm being followed by balls. Huh. I was gonna say, there's gotta be something. There we go. What did we fight? Pacifists and alien sympathizers bemoan our recent history. They claim that there was no need for war and that bloodshed was unnecessary. They talk about diplomacy and negotiation and wail about collateral damage. But all of this illustrates a common ignorance of the situation. We had no choice. Our species were on the verge of extinction and every resource we had was utterly depleted. It was either expand or die. Detractors of this philosophy offer many criticisms, but few alternatives. At every stage of our journey, we were hobbled by the aliens. They prevented our free travel. They restricted our rights to expand, and they tried to force us to follow their rules. We begged them for access to resources, offering technology or arms or science, but what was their response? Guidelines, sanctions, restrictions. This is all the alien could offer. Meanwhile, multitudes of humans perished and starved. Wait for your turn, the alien community had said. Our laws must be obeyed. You are nothing special. Oh, I have some thoughts about this. Hi. The exceptionalism, exceptionalism? Humanity's belief that we are special in the grand scheme of things. That we should be given things just because of the fact that we are human. Re-conspiracy. So according to you, there's a shadowy cabal that's sending trained assassins, human assassins, to infiltrate and disrupt military research across the sector. Why? Well, they're trying to prevent some sort of terrible but extremely vague catastrophe from happening in the near future. According to your source, they've decided to murder scientists and technicians just like us. Right. But the best part? They're doing this under the nose of the same military that's been ordering us to proceed with this research. Listen, Gabe, I understand we're all under a lot of pressure these days, but please, don't spread this nonsense. Of all the issues and problems to be worried about, you pick the one that makes our species look like complete idiots. Humanity is generally pretty good at making itself look stupid. Yes, this is a very kind of hard sci-fi story, and I like it a great deal. So that's just linked us up over there, but we can now get back up to this yellow door up here. Okay, so when the bit... Sorry, I was just testing something there and I went really quiet because I was concentrating. I have no idea why. When the beam goes ping, it pings off in the direction that you're facing. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Welcome to the Tormagon Research Facility. Ooh, what is that? Hold on. I was going to say, there has to be a way for us to get up somewhere, otherwise we will soft lock ourselves there. I can just do this, can't I? Ooh, no, I can't. There we go. Interesting. Are we going up and over the top to get that? Humanity's wrath. It has long been clear that nothing will ever be the same. The Earth is no more. Humanity as we once knew it is no more. We, the few that survived the alien's hand, now bear the standard of all who lived. After decades of hiding and countless hours working in the darkness, we're about to drive that standard through the heart of the enemy. In this facility, buried under these miles of dirt and rock, we've developed a weapon that will return our species to its rightful place among the stars. And there we will remain alone until the last moments of this universe. There is no life but ours. Jesus Christ. Lovely people. Lovely people, humanity. Apparently there's something hidden in this room. Hold on. I saw you. I like the flashy on the map that then shows you that that you should be on the lookout for something. Okay, so we're going over here to the yellow door to the right, I would guess. What's this room? Oh, our gun changes colour. I've only just noticed. That's a lovely little visual touch as well. See, I thought the charge beam was only going to be for beam 2, but it appears to be for all of them. Shield Energizer. Enemies have a 10% chance to drop a super shield boost that restores 20 shields. Okay. Yeah, again, very, very, very easy to get stuck. Crouching. The altruists of ISOC 12. Almost screwed up my Roman numerals there. A soldier's account. These particular aliens were a talkative bunch. Even before our fleets had entered their system, they'd been sending messages to us. Apparently, they'd caught wind of our campaign and decided to contact us in an attempt to negotiate. This was unprecedented but laughable all the same. The commander of the fleet decided to honour their request, probably for his own amusement. Their technology was post-industrial, think early space race. We kept our weapons ready while they sent a pitiful-looking rocket to meet with our carrier. It docked with only minor difficulties and a team of emissaries met with the commander. We were watching from our cruiser when it happened. The commander's carrier ignited into a brilliant flash. Apparently, the alien's rocket had been packed with primitive explosives, some compounds similar to TNT. It blasted through several decks, crippling the carrier and killing dozens of crew members. The emissaries assassinated most of the top-ranking crew before they themselves were cut down with gunfire. Although it was an impressive feat by ISOC 12, the worst of the damage was psychological. We proceeded to phase 0, mostly out of principle. Wow, so they wiped out the entire planet. So, I would say we're what, 52 minutes and 40 seconds in. Although, weirdly, my recording time is at 1 hour and 15 minutes, but, you know. We're at 46% discovered, so we're making good progress. I forgot we've got an item screen. So it shows us when we've got upgrades to stuff. We've got 6 out of 10 exotic magic containers, 9 out of 25 of that. 1 particle replicator, so that's the only one in the game. I imagine the one on the other side's maybe for... I know, it's probably not for... It's all XMP related, isn't it? The shield stuff's in the top right. 41% of items acquired. Yeah, in terms of a mini Metroid game, I think this is doing a really good job. You can tell, you know, that whilst it may not be the most high resolution, high fidelity graphics, there's a real kind of heart to this. I'm going to leave it there. Because what I actually want to do... You should always check these kind of things earlier, I would think. But realistically, you want to check that this works. It does. We come in peace for all mankind. Plaque on the Apollo 11 lunar module. What was this story? Oh, I'll have a look at that some other time. Ex Vitro. Thoughts. I've played an hour and 15-ish minutes of the game. The inspiration for it is very clear. It is not the the best looking game in the world. Everything has got that slightly blurry look that you get when you are dealing with lower resolution assets that have been upscaled to fit on a higher resolution display. And if I was to turn down, and I could be talking out my ass here, if I put window mode back on and turn it down to... Oh, that's not going to work because I've got... This is going to probably break now. Sorry. Where's Borderless Gaming got? Where has Borderless Gaming gone? Huh. I don't know. It's disappeared. No, I was going to... I was going to check what the game looked like at a smaller size, but I guess I can't because it seems to have disappeared. I think the thing that is standing out for the most for me with Vitro is the story. I know it is told through text logs, and therefore it's a chunk of reading, and not everybody likes that kind of thing. But I have played a lot of indie games where the text logs and stuff are either badly written or have got good narratives but bad grammar and punctuation. And I know that makes me sound incredibly picky, but I am an English teacher and a professional writer. So when it comes to standards of written English, you know, I appreciate them. Do I absolutely have to have them in my indie video games? No. Of course not. I'm quite happy to play through games where the punctuation's a bit iffy, or the dialogue's a bit stilted, or the prose is a bit purple. But this is really well written, both grammatically and in terms of narrative delivery. I don't know if the developer has a background in writing at all, or whether they have. In fact, is there a writer in the credits? There's not going to be much credits here. It's mostly just going to be people that he used bits and pieces of artwork and stuff from. 1.0 2024 coming soon. Yes, did I say at the start that this was an early look? I can't remember. I don't know whether I did or not. I'll go back and add a note on the off chance that I didn't, because actually now I think about it, I don't think I did. The game's not out yet. Yes, the writing is really it's well written. It is a well written lore, text logs heavy, text game. I know what I mean. Just about. I'm noting there's a lot of Creative Commons music by Kevin MacLeod here. I use some of Kevin MacLeod's stuff as well. Monkeys killing monkeys. No, monkeys killing monkeys. That's not right at all. Monkeys spinning monkeys. The system. Dr. M64 is the guy that made AM2R, if you've played that, who's currently working, I believe, for Moon Studios, the creators of Ori. I think that's right. No, or is he working for the guys that making the new Prince of Persia game that's coming out next year? I forget. Either way, that's what he's doing. So yes, all of this is very much these are the assets that I use because, as I said, he very specifically mentions in the literature, in the press stuff, that this was very much a project to help learn how things work, and that's super important. Consultation and support, consultation and game design, testers. Not a huge number of people tested this game, so I'm reasonably fortunate to be able to, take a look at this kind of stuff in advance. Thanks. So, a first look at X Vitro. The game itself is very Super Metroid. I'd argue that it controls ever so slightly better, but there's also something that feels a little bit... Well, it feels very indie. And that sounds maybe critical, but I don't mean it to be. It's very much a game that feels put together by one person, but it's an impressive one. But what is elevating it for me is the feeling that I'm getting from the story that they are trying to tell. Humanity bad is not an uncommon trope for science fiction. As I said, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. As a Warhammer 40k fan, I think most people can appreciate that particular sentiment. Fans of Warhammer 40k are usually pretty cognizant of the fact that humanity are not the good guys in 40k. The Imperium of Man is not a heroic and good morally organization. Just because you've got your genetically engineered space marines and they've got that kind of that heroic figure doesn't make them good guys. They're not good people. 40k is it's all dystopia all the time. It is arguably a natural evolution of human psychology as presented through a 21st century lens. You could potentially argue that the game is... No, I will rephrase this. I am certain that a very vocal minority of people would try and argue that this game is lefty propaganda, or it's woke, or it's, humanity's not like this at all. You only have to look at what is going on in the world and why people are fighting each other. Resources, climate change, land, ownership, human rights, the rights of women to exist in certain places in the world. I don't want to turn this into a soapbox, but what I found interesting about this is it's not a new story. It's not a new story, but it's a well done story, and you can see the parallels, and it's very topical. It's very topical, should we say? It's much more story heavy and much more kind of psychological about this is what humanity could be like once we screw up everything that we've got to offer here. You could argue that it's a moral tale wrapped in a Super Metroid-like shell. And that interests me as a writer and a lover of science fiction. I'm going to step back off my soapbox now. X Vitro. Coming soon. A dark sci-fi platformer where you delve into the ruins of a military research facility and discover the horrors within. A retro love letter to the Metroid series with a few quality of life adjustments such as teleporters, rechargeable ammo, item collection tracking by area and more. Journal entries explaining the grim fate of humanity and its war against the galaxy. And cover the nature of the main character. The main character has kind of been faceless and don't really know anything about, or they've got no personality of their own, and that's fine. 8 different biomes, multiple massive boss enemies, 2 endings based on item completion, and original music tracks by Sam Bion. I'm really sorry for pronouncing that wrong, as I undoubtedly have done. An early look at X Vitro, coming out early 2024. Expected total playtime for the game is around 2 to 3 hours, so we're probably a third to half of the way through. And yeah, I'm impressed with this. I'm impressed with this. It's not the best looking game. It's not pixel perfect feel, but I like the vibe. And I know that's very kind of analytical, isn't it? I like the vibe, but I like the vibe. I like what it's going for. I'm looking forward to playing a bit more and finding out how the story of humanity ends in this, because I don't expect it's going to have a happy ending.
2 weeks later.
Hello Internet, Demajen from the future here. It's a couple of weeks after I played this first section of the game. Then Christmas happened, New Year's happened, and I finally got a chance to go back to the game and to finish it up. And I played for a couple of hours just to get the game finished, and I came to the conclusion that it would be doing you, as a potential player of this game, and the developer, a bit of a disservice if 4 weeks before launch, because it's due now to release on the 31st of January 2024, if 4 weeks before launch I'd put out a full 100% playthrough of this game, because I think the writing of the game is so well done and so interesting. Not a particularly new or unusual story, but with a couple of nice twists to it. I feel it would be doing you a disservice if you didn't get the opportunity to play this and experience it for yourself. So this is what I am going to do. As soon as this little kind of flash forward thing is finished, I'm going to put up my review, such as it is, of the game, i.e. my thoughts from over the ending credits having finished the game today. But I'm not going to show you the second half of the game from where this episode kind of left off until after the game has launched. This gives people an opportunity to experience it for themselves rather than saying, well, I don't want to buy this game. I don't want to spend any money to find out what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it until kind of February, sometime in February, to put out the second half of this video. It's recorded. It's ready to go. It's edited even. But I feel like this is one that maybe a lot of people who are interested in hard sci-fi would want to play for themselves. So as I said, it's 2 weeks later. Here are my thoughts from the ending, or after the ending, of Ex Vitro. Final stats: 2.5 hours, 100% map, 100% items collected. Press start to continue. See you next apocalypse. I really enjoyed that. The gameplay itself was fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with any of that gameplay. It's not doing anything massively innovative, but it has the feel that it is going for. The design of the facility, I think, was pretty well laid out. The way you were essentially funneled, funneled is arguably the wrong word, but the way you were guided around the facility, I think, worked very well indeed. The secrets were, I'm not going to say massively difficult to find. There were a couple that was like, how do I get to that? But for the most part, they were fine. The only two pieces of critique that I have for this is that it's too easy to get stuck in the crouch state, and there's a section near the end where you have to get through a series of switch-based doors, which it's difficult to get through them just because of how the beams don't necessarily. It's not very easy to hit the switches at the angle you need to be without the door closing on you. But in terms of, is this a fun game to play? Yeah, it's good. But more importantly, I really, really like what they've done with the story. The story is incredibly well written. The conclusion to the story, and again, I'm trying not to spoil anything here because I honestly feel that this is a game worth playing for the story. It's that well written. It's only delivered through text logs, and for some that might not be enough. But for me, once you get to the end and you get those final text logs and you understand why they are text logs, that really works for me. The story of the game, I think, has been very, very intriguing, and it made me want to come back. I could have quite happily, after the first session, said, well, the gameplay is all right, but it's not blowing me away. What is it that's going to keep me coming back to finding out, what's going on? And it's very much the story. I don't think there's any real replay value in the game. I don't want to click back on this because I don't want to show anybody any kind of end of game areas. I very much feel that this is a game that you should play for yourself for the story. It is a well-written piece of mini science fiction, hard science fiction, arguably, at that. And if you like that kind of thing, then I really do think that this is a good one to play. I've no idea how much it is going to be or when it is coming out. In fact, do we have... Has Alex put a release date on here? 31st of January. So 4 weeks from... Well, nowish really, since I'm recording this on the 2nd of January. Yes, very much enjoyed Ex Vitro. I think that this will be a fun little Metroid-like for you to pick up, as long as the pricing isn't horrendous, and there's no indication of pricing as of yet. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Play it for the story. The secret finding and gameplay is fine. The final boss is pretty cool, actually. I really like the final boss. But yeah, I'm not going to turn this into a feedback video. I'm very much going to leave this as a... There's this game coming out. It's really cool. I've played the whole thing. I've 100%ed it. I feel like you might enjoy doing that yourselves. And then you can play the second half of the game for yourself. But in my opinion, for what it is worth, I really enjoyed getting around the map. I really enjoyed not so much the grand reveal of the story, because I don't think it's a twist as much as it is a kind of natural kind of continuation of what we saw in the first play session that I'm tacking this on to the end of. But yes, Ex Vitro, worth your time. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again soon for another Metroidvania video, or some of the other stuff that I've got planned for releasing over the coming weeks. Stay safe, have a good one. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.